Okay, before the video starts, just a quick disclaimer. I want to point out that this might be a bit of a longer video, so I'll leave timestamps for each part of the guide right now on screen, so if you would like to skip to those, feel free to, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, so today we'll be talking about fishing. I'll basically start off with the fishing rods, which are the best and which are the worst, and then I will tell you how to gain the most XP while fishing. So I'll start off with the beginner. For the beginner rod, you want to get the farmer's rod, which is not too hard to get. Once you get a clay minion, if you get clay collection 5, which is 2.5k, you get the farmer's rod, which deals plus 45 damage and has an increased fishing speed by 40%. If you don't have the recipe unlocked, the best thing to do is just ask someone who has the recipe and trade it, and trade all the materials to them, or just buy it. It's pretty easy to make. It requires 64 Hebo, 2 string and 1 enchanted clay. So for a beginner, I think that's the best rod in my opinion. There's also the speedster rod, which is found under the raw salmon collection. It requires 500 salmon, and it's basically a bit cheaper than the farmer's rod, but the increase fishing speed is only 30%, so you're giving away 10% fishing speed. So yeah, but it's easier to get. Also, one more thing I forgot about the beginner tips is that there's angler armor, which is unlocked in the fishing collection, and raw fish. It's basically 500 raw fish. It's angler. Basically gives you sea creature master, reduces sea creature damage and increases sea creature spawn chance. So yeah, that's what I just forgot to say. That armor is pretty good if you're starting off for fishing. If you're starting off fishing, it's pretty good armor. If you enchant it with full growth 5 and protection, it gives you around 1000 HP. And also it's pretty good for getting mobs, because mobs give you more XP than other jobs. So yeah, I would also suggest that armor. Okay, so now we'll talk about the mid-game fishing rods that I think are the best. For the mid-game, I'm gonna suggest going to the lily pad collection and seeing the challenging rod and the champion rod. The challenging rod increases the fishing speed by 50% and also has a sea creature catch rate by 2%. And then the champion rod has the same stats, just 10% more fishing speed and 2% more sea creature catch rate. So you can either get the lily pads, because for the challenging rod you need to get like 8 stacks of lily pads, as you can see, to craft it, and you have a normal fishing rod in the center. And then if you want to get the champion's rod, it's going to require a challenging rod and then 8 enchanted lily pads, which you craft by 2.5 stacks. So either you can craft it by spending a lot of time fishing, or there's an easier way. If you just come over to the auction, if I stop lagging, of course. Okay, so you head over to the auction, you go to auction, you go to tools and misc, you go to rare. Okay, so you want to just search, go to misc, and then go to the search bar and search champions. So here you can buy a champion rod. They usually go for around 500k or something like that. They usually go for around 500k. The best way to get it is probably from buying. Okay, now for the late game fishing rods. There's 2 for the late game. They're both they're very good, but they have some differences. Mainly, the last fishing rod from the lily pad collection is the Rod of Legends. You basically need to get a Rod of Champions for it, and then surround it with 16 enchanted lily pads for each slot, and you get the Rod of Legends. Basically this thing deals a lot of damage, has increased sea creature catch rate by 6%, and increases fishing speed by 70%, which is very good. There's also another fishing rod which is called the Shredder. You find it at all fishing skill 20 when you unlock the Sea Emperor, and when you kill it, it has like a slight % chance to drop it. To drop this thing, which is the Shredder. Basically, this thing is as good as the Road of Legends and even better. Just the main difference with the Road of Legends and the Shredder is the Shredder deals ton of more damage than the Road of Legends, and also has an increased fishing speed by 75%, but the Road of Legends has 70% increased speed, and the main difference is that the Road of Legends increases sea creature catch rate by 6%, which may not seem like a lot, but it's actually a lot. And also, to use the Shredder, you need to have fishing level 20, so just keep in mind. Also, the damage as you catch more fish and use more bait goes up, so this might be even the best fishing rod in the game for now, in terms of damage. Okay, now for the best tips and tricks to gain XP quickly, fishing XP. Basically, I have the third best rod in the game, the Champion's Rod. Basically, I have increases fishing speed by 60%, and if you use fish bait, which is 30% faster catch time, you get 90%. And with the fish affinity talisman, you get 95% faster catch time. Basically, to get this talisman, you have to kill a water hydra, which is unlocked in level 19, and it has a slight chance of dropping it. So I usually fish here. Also, one more thing I've noticed, which I don't know if this is some bug or something. Usually when there's more people around, you tend to catch fish like faster. I don't know if that's a bug or a feature. I just seen that you catch fish faster that way. So I'm not 100% sure if that works, but it's worth mentioning, I guess. Okay, now for the baits. I like to use fish bait, which is 30% faster catch time, which you catch fish pretty fast. There's also spiked bait, which if you go collection, fishing, and pufferfish, you can see at pufferfish 5, basically increases sea creature spawn rate by 6%. So 6% with the 4%, that's 10, and angler 5 also gives you 5% more catch rate. It's catch sea monster, that's 50% more. But I think fish bait is better because you have a 30% faster catch time than the spiked bait, so I usually use the fish bait. There's also one more good bait that's under the lily pad collection. It is called whale bait. But this bait, I don't think it's worth it in my opinion, because it requires four baits to craft only one whale bait, as you can see. So in my opinion, this fish bait isn't worth it at all. Okay, now we'll talk about the fishing XP and what are the best catches. First of all, you have the raw fish catch, which only gives you 20 XP. Then you have the raw salmon, which gives you 30 XP. Then you have the pufferfish, which gives you 40 XP. And then you have the clownfish, which gives you 80 XP. Now for the two catches, there's a good catch and a great catch. The good catch basically gives you 160 XP. When you catch something, it will say in chat good catch. And the great catch is the purple catch. Basically, it's purple in chat and it will say that gives you 300 XP. Now for the sea creature mobs. Basically, the higher you get, the higher mob you get, the more XP it will give you. So for example, if I get a squid, it's probably going to give me around 50 XP. But if I get this deep sea protector, it's going to give me around 1000 fishing XP. So that's quite a lot just for killing one mob. So as you rank up the sea creatures, they give you more and more XP levels until you reach the two bosses, which is the water hydra and the sea emperor. The water hydra has 3 drops, which are the fish affinity talisman. Then you get luck of the sea 6, I'm pretty sure, and then you have the water hydra head. Now for the Sea Emperor drops, the Sea Emperor basically drops Sea Emperor skulls and legendary fishing rod, which is called the Shredder, which I showed. Okay, now we'll talk about the fishing rod enchants and which I think are the best. Starting off with Caster 6, just keep in mind you get the level 6 enchants from mobs, as you can see here, Magnet 6, Pharaoh 6, and so on until you reach the Sea Emperor. So I'll be talking about the level 5 enchants. The level 6 enchants are basically just a bit better, but they're not that good. But they're still a bit better. So Caster 6, or caster 5 is basically when you use a bait, when you fish and you use a bait, there's a 5% chance to not use the bait, but it feels like it's 20% because when I fish there's like a 50% chance almost I don't use the bait. I'll try and show you. I have 33 and I still have 33 even though, as you can see, I already casted one bait. Let's see what I get. And I get 2 real salmon. As you can see, I still have 33 even though I fished once. So that's basically caster. For spiked hook, basically spiked hook, when you fling out your rod, basically the fishing hook deals more damage to mobs. Spiked hook 5 deals 25%, and spiked hook 6 deals 30% more damage to mobs. Looting 3 is basically when you kill a mob, it has 30% more chance to drop rare items. I think this only works if you kill it with the fishing rod, so not with the fishing hook. If I'm sorry, I apologize. Frail 6 is basically how when a mob spawns, it decreases its health. Frail 5 gives you minus 25% chance. When a mob drops, basically decreases its health by 25%, and Frail 6 decreases it by 30%. Anger 5 just basically increases the sea creature catch rate by 5%. Anger 6 increases it by 6. Luck of the Sea basically gives you the chance to get music discs, armor, and so on, all those things. Saddle. Luck of the Sea 6 basically gives you 6%. Magnet gives you 5 orbs of enchanting. So Magnet 5 gives you 5 enchanting orbs, or XP orbs I should say. And Magnet 6 gives you 6 enchanting or XP orbs. War 5 basically decreases the fish catch rate time by 25%, and if you get a War 6 it decreases by 30% speed. So if you can see, I have 60 increases fishing speed by 60. So if I have War 6, it's gonna increase the fishing speed by 90, and plus the 30% faster catch time and the fish affinity talisman. I think that's around 25% more fishing speed. But I've heard somewhere that the fishing speed only caps on 100, so I'm not sure if that works. Now for Blessing 5, basically Blessing 5 doubles your drops. So if I fish and I get something, basically there's a 25% chance I get double the drops, as you can see with the salmon I got. So instead of getting 1 salmon, I got 2, so that's what basically Blessing does. And I'm pretty sure you can get Blessing 6. I think Blessing 5 is the max. So I think that's all. I think that's everything in the fishing guide. And yeah,